Welcome to Autism in Black Live. We are rooted in advocacy, not fear, rooted in truth, not stigma. Here, we center Black autistic voices, uplift Black families, and build spaces that are affirming, unapologetic, and full of joy. Whether you are a parent, professional, or autistic adult, this is your space. Together, we break down barriers and build up community. So grab your seat at the table. We're just getting started. Hi, people, beautiful people. Welcome to our Tuesday episode of Vision to Venue. I am Maria Davis Pierre, the CEO and founder of Autism in Black, here with my hubby.
What's going on, everybody? AIB community, you're truly Dr. Barry Pierre, the co-founder of Autism in Black.
And we are here with our Vision to Venue series, which takes you and gives you a behind-the-scenes look at what it takes to take our vision for our 6th annual conference and bring it to the actual venue. And when is our 6th annual conference happening, everyone? April 17th through the 19th. And you can join us here in West Palm Beach, Florida, or virtually from wherever you choose. And before we get into talking about today's episode and more about our Vision to Venue series, you know, if you have watched us before, we hand it over to Dr. Barry to talk about YouTube.
Indeed. So, of course, we have been chugging along with the goal to get 1,000 subscribers to the YouTube channel. Y'all have been absolutely amazing. Remember, we post all of these episodes as well as the podcast episodes, as well as the Mindful Mondays, right? Is that what you call it? Yeah, Mindful Mondays episodes on the YouTube channel. So go over there. Link is, again, in that link that's scrolling across. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Right. And for those who are checking in on the live with us, please make sure you comment, where are you watching from? Right. Please do that right now.
Exactly. So yes, please go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are really making some gains over there, so we appreciate you all. Make sure to drop in the chat where you are located, where you're tuning in from. If this is your first time tuning in, know that Monday through Thursday, this is a pre-recording. So yes, it says live, but we have pre-recorded this episode. So if you are putting things in the chat, we are reading them and we'll answer them if they're questions on Friday for our Q&A, where we actually are live for that episode. So if this is your first time joining us, we have themes for every day that we do the Vision to Venue series, and today's day theme is operations. So if you tuned in yesterday, we talked about how we kind of have a theme. We have the overall theme of the conference, but we break our speaker sessions by theme of day as well, because there is a certain atmosphere we want to build for our attendees, and there's a certain outcome that we want to build for our attendees. We also do this to prevent chaotic programming as well. We kind of really have structure and a plan, and it's all built into that vision that we want to see. So we'll get right into talking about operations today and talking about the theme of those days. Would you like me to name the themes, babe, and then you talk about each day?
Yeah. Let's rock out.
Perfect. So do you want me to give all three or do one by one?
I think one by one is just fine. I mean, just so we can kind of get the gist of the motion.
Perfect. So we all know that or if you don't know, now you know, the overall theme of our conference this year is rooted in healing. We have a different theme that we do for the conference every year, but the structure of the theming of days stays the same. So our first themed day is really mindfulness. And you could talk about that, babe.
Yeah, so I think a lot of times, especially any conference you go to, but more importantly, especially an Autism in Black conference, we understand when we're choosing our theme, there has to be a lot of not only roadblocks but obstacles that may be in the way, right? To get to the point where, I could be rooted in my healing, and we understand how important that is. So when we're thinking about speakers, when we're thinking about speaker choices, or more importantly, when we're thinking about the order of said speakers, we understand that, that first day, a lot of the initial issues or concerns are typically kind of mindset related, right? So there's some mindset blockers that are in the way that are preventing you from being the best person you could be, whether it be a caretaker, whether it be an autistic individual, whether it be a parent, whether it be an educator or a professional, right? There's usually something in the way from an internal mindset aspect that kind of serves as a roadblock that you've been running into. So we try to put speakers and their topics of discussion on that day, so you can say like, okay. And a lot of times that's why after the first day, people be like, oh, I already got my money's worth, right? Because for a lot of people, the mindset is a huge hurdle, big hurdle, right? Like, again, if you're watching, comment mindset if mindset has been a big hurdle in front of your way during this autism journey.
Exactly. And when we're talking about mindset, we're talking about sometimes I talk about this a lot, that when parents are parenting and they're in it, a lot of times it's hard for us to see the future. We're so present focused. We're like, well, I don't know what's possible, right? I don't know what can be. So some of that day on the first day, that mindfulness is just the possibility of knowing that, okay, I don't have to hold my child back from anything. Whatever they want, they, can go for it, right? Because a lot of times that negativity is spewed so much when it's disability centered and when it's Black disability centered. So to have individuals on the stage who are autistic, who are speaking from their lived experiences, who are also professionals, I think that also builds into that programming on the first day of the mindfulness. Same with autistic adults, right? Being late diagnosed, it can be a roller coaster of emotions that you are dealing with, and like, oh my God, I'm feeling like I'm isolated and I'm the only one who's experiencing this. And to hear others' experiences and knowing that you are not alone in that, and your feelings are mirrored in other people, is also like, okay, now I've gotten that mindfulness out of the way. I can move on to other things, right? And the same for professionals, to see others doing the work and others who are centering Black autistic individuals, and knowing that this work is important, right? So a lot of that is really honed in on day one. And then moving into day two, we talk about more fear-based things, right? So you can go ahead on that.
Yeah, so again, I think kind of following that same kind of momentum of trying to get over our big dominoes, our big obstacles. We understand that, like, when we talk about the mindset, everything's like right here, right? There's like internal reasons why, like, as a parent, I'm having trouble, right? There's internal reasons why, as an autistic adult, I'm having trouble. As a educator, I'm having trouble, right? There's something in here that's causing it. But we know the reality at hand. For a lot of people, there are external outside forces that cause real fear of concern and concern of fear and concern when, trying to kind of navigate this journey, right? Like, I remember, again, my wife, she's a therapist, I'm a physician. And we were like, okay, all right. So we got this from a socioeconomic standpoint, and from a knowledge standpoint, we should know what's happening. Oh, where is the pediatric neurologist? Like, I'm in South Florida, but like, I gotta go like that's an outside force that is in the way, right? That's not something like mentally we're thinking like, oh, I'm not sure if I should get a diagnosis. Like, no, we want to get diagnosis. We can't get the diagnosis because the nearest neurologist is 30, 40 miles away, right? That's a real external, and obviously that's hyperbolizing it, but like, for a lot of people, right? Like, your next diagnosis, or more importantly, your first diagnosis, or your first CE, education is 40, 50, 100 miles away. So
Mhm.
so we understand that on that day two, now we got to talk about the reality that there's some outside forces.
Yeah.
There's some outside issues and concerns that are causing us to have trouble from moving forward. And I think that is a big step. So we typically have speakers who will kind of speak on that, who will
Mhm.
help address it, who will help kind of navigate around it.
Exactly. Giving those tools, those action steps. I mean, it happens on day one, of course, and day two, and every day you're getting those tools to be able to go into these systems and advocate. Because it's one thing to talk about them, but to not give a plan of action is another thing, right? And we want to make sure that you have a plan of action because it is real, right? Not having a provider close by that can accurately assess and diagnose a Black child or a Black adult, right? It gets so hard for Black adults because we've masked for so long at the age that you are as an adult, and you have to find a provider who can see past that, who can see past their biases, who can see past what they were taught and look at you and give that accurate assessment. And that is so difficult. Um, so, as well as, being a professional trying to fight the system to do what's right for your patients and your clients and your students. So, yeah, we really talk about those things on day two. And then moving into day three and wrapping it up, we tie it all together into that here's what to do next type of thing, that plan of action that, okay, now it all comes together and we're ready to go out there and be some autism and Black advocates.
Yeah, and I love that you kind of mentioned, the fact that you got to be some advocates because that's really where the action comes into play.
Mhm.
Typically, we have a lot of that. That's where for those who do conferences, you want to have your hype, your energetic. If you're the host and you're speaking, that's where you're going to be speaking. So you're going to have the energy kind of brought in, especially towards the tail end whatever event you're doing, whether it be a 1 day event, a 3 day event, a 10 day event, tail end, you want to make sure that you're really rocking home and bringing everything together from a mindset, from the external beliefs and fears that need to be conquered, and then driving home the message, right? With actionable steps and plans and dynamic people who will speak to that and understand all right, yep, there is a way because how many of us right have gone through this journey and we say all right, yep, this is a dead end, I can't go no more, this is it, I'm stuck, and then you somehow get unstuck, right? You get a mindset or you get someone teaches you some game on the IEP and now you're unstuck, right? That is the type of movement that we need to kind of continue to bring on. And that's what typically happens that last final day where we just have a lot of movement conversations. We put you in good positions. We talk about our community, of course, a lot. In the chat type community, because that's important. We really try to bring it all together for the importance of Monday coming around and you getting ready to go to work, right? We always talk about that Monday where if we do a good enough job over our 3 day span with some amazing dynamic speakers, come Monday, you got some work for yourself to do.
Exactly. And that's really the theming of those days. So that's the live programming. But then we also have our pre-recorded sessions, and those also feed into those days. But we did a little switch. I think last year was the first time we did the switch where we actually gave pre-recorded access prior to the conference. And we're doing that again this year. We kind of see it as that prelude into what's going to happen. So you get a lot of those sessions, you get a lot of that, okay, this is what I'm coming into, right? So you have the ability to watch the pre-records prior to the start of the actual conference from April 17th through the 19th. So you have, I don't want to call it pre-work, but it's that pre-introduction into what's in store. So you get, your IEPs, you're getting your work accommodations, you're getting all of those things in those pre-records prior to the start of the conference. And then me and Dr. Berry speak on each day at our conference, and there's a purpose for that as well. We open our conference, of course, on the first day and kind of set the stage for what this weekend will be. That Saturday, we speak right before lunch, and there's a purpose for that as well. And then that Sunday, we close it out for everybody, wrap it up, and send everybody off on an even higher note. So yeah, and then of course there's built-in engagement opportunities, networking for those who are live. You have all of our night, evening things that we're doing. Yeah, so that's kind of the programming. Is there anything that I missed?
Yeah, no, I think that's really like the message that we try to bring, and especially when we have speakers who request to want to speak on stage, they kind of understand, right? Because typically in our rubric is like, hey, these are conversations we want to kind of have, right? We have an idea, hey, these are conversations we want to have before it even gets there. So that's why a lot of times our pre-recorded message is a lot of the technical assistance, right? Which again may not necessarily be great for an on-stage performance, but we understand that there's a lot of action that happens during that session that you may have to write down, you may have to pause, right? Replay, pause, right, which you really can't do when they're on stage. So we definitely try to make it a point to say, all right, the ones that may give them a lot more homework, we might want to have them the opportunity where they can kind of pause, write down some notes, and then especially when we talk about IEPs, when we talk about our transitionings from elementary to middle to high school to college, college to the real world, right? Whatever that means. So it's a rhyme to the reason, right? It's a rhyme to the reason for what we're doing. And like I said, we couldn't do it, right? Again, we obviously this week highlighting the speakers. We couldn't do it without an amazing team of speakers who continue to hold us down and continue to support us, whether you're a new or old speaker. So shout out to y'all for sure.
Yes, shout out to our speakers who each and every year show up and show out. I'm always I'm always learning as someone who's doing this each time. And some of the speakers I have heard speak multiple times, and each time they speak, I'm still learning and getting something. And I think that is a testament to who these individuals are, because they are a wealth of knowledge. And oftentimes the outer world does not see the wealth of knowledge that we have, and they don't appreciate it. But here at Autism in Black, we do. So we are so appreciative to each and every speaker every year that holds us down, that brings their expertise, who is in the comments sharing, who's in the conference hub, who's staying with attendees after the session may ended and giving them a little more insight, who's eating lunch with them, all of those things. So we are just so grateful for the extra and added steps that our speakers do to serve our community. And we are so thankful for that. And because you pour into us, we always pour back into you as well. Anything else we want to say about programming?
Nothing for programming, right? Stay tuned for tomorrow's episode. We talk a little marketing, all right? That's always
tomorrow's speaker is
tomorrow's Wednesday. So we're gonna be highlights the speakers. Oh yeah, highlights the speakers. Ooh, who gets the highlight? If you're a speaker watching the live right now, say highlight, right? Type in that word, comment the word highlight. Let me know if you should be one of the ones we should be highlighting. Oh, hold on.
We might do something differently and highlight the sessions, because we do want to have some of our speakers actually live on a Wednesday. So we shall see. Yeah, we shall see. We might change it up a little bit, because I know I'm working on getting some of these speakers to do a Wednesday show. So just know tomorrow we will be highlighting.
We gotta put that in the contract.
Oh my gosh, Dr. Berry, please.
Put that in the contract. Shout out to the speakers who sign y'all contracts quickly.
Oh,
we should talk about, honestly, let's talk. Now we're talking about operations. Hey, speakers.
But Dr. Berry, please, because I don't know what you're about to say. I don't know what you're
we
about to
are
say.
a
Dr. Berry, Dr.
reputable
Berry.
organization.
There, go ahead. You go
And
ahead.
we do provide contracts for our speakers. I know that might seem weird, right? Because you're like, Autism Black. No, we got a lawyer, right, who writes our contracts. It's not a ChatGPT contract.
We have a business attorney, not only that writes our contracts. When I speak at places, reviews my contracts, things of that nature. So we are not using AI to create our contracts and then sending them out. We actually pay a lawyer. I love our lawyer, a Black female lawyer. Shout out to her, who does our contracts for all of our events. She does all of them, and her intent is to protect our organization and also protect you as a speaker. So please understand that, yes, our contracts are lengthy. Yes, they do have a lot of legalese in them because they are created by an attorney, but like we always send them out. We always advise that if you have questions, you can talk to us, talk to your own attorney if you have the privilege to have one. But please know that our main goal with these contracts, it is a business contract, and we have to understand that there are certain things that are going to be in there. There's never anything in there that says we are taking anybody's intellectual property. That is yours. That is yours.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think for that, just speak to other speakers. Like we can connect you with past speakers if there's any concerns. And we got speakers who've been speaking since day one. So we can connect you with them if you have any questions or concerns of what you can do with your own property, right? So shout out to the speakers. We don't want y'all rights.
Yes,
we just want y'all to sign the contract.
Sign the contract. So that we can make sure things are protected and make sure that we can give deliverables to our audience as we have promised. So if we put things in the contract, it's also things that we have promised, such as lifetime access to all recordings. So since we give lifetime access to all recordings, it is in our contracts that states that we will always own these videos because we have to house said videos to give lifetime access. If we have a time limit on how we can own that video, then that means it's not lifetime access and that our attendees then are upset, right? So please understand that there is a rhyme and reason to also the speaker contracts. And as a business, we have to make sure we're doing our due diligence to protect our organization and to protect you as speakers. We are not out here doing bad business, okay? We are not out here trying to take people's information and
do our own PhDs. Like we don't even want that. We don't. I promise you. We're good. I promise you we're good.
We get over here with our thoughts. I got too much going on in here that I'm trying to do myself. Okay. So please understand we are not trying to
shout out to the speakers.
Yes, because it's been a tough time. Not with our conference speakers per se. So thank you to our conference speakers. You guys have all signed. We've all got that going. But there's other events happening where this is occurring. So just know it's been a week already and it's only Tuesday. But shout out to the speakers. Shout out to everybody that's supporting us. Dr. Berry added a little seasoning on there in the end.
Shout out to them. Shout out. That's how the operations go, y'all. Y'all got to know how all the operations go.
Yes, speaker contract.
You can't have a good speaker. And again, especially if you're a content promoter, and you want to have events, please have a contract. Like there's no handshake. Like please have a contract. Please. It makes way more sense.
Please have contracts. That is a protection for all parties involved. So have contracts. They matter. They're important, right?
Indeed.
So make sure you're doing that. We have to sign contracts with our vendors. We have to sign contracts with every single person that's involved with the convention center we're having it, host hotels. So contracts are a normal thing in business. So
you know where you don't need a contract? To purchase your ticket. Hit the link below. Get your
Well,
tickets.
there are some
Your
things you are
tickets.
agreeing to when you purchase that ticket. So please
Your
read
tickets.
those.
But you don't got to sign the contract to do it.
But you don't got to
Get
sign a
your
contract
tickets.
to do it. No. But yes,
Right.
shout out to our speakers. Shout out to all of you. And remember, April.
If you're on the live, again, if you're catching us on the live, just hit up, just comment the word conference. We'll send a link to you.
Oh, look.
You don't want to go to that? Comment the
Automation.
word conference. We'll send a link to you. We're gonna make this very easy for you to be attending this conference.
Yes.
Comment the word conference. The link gets sent to you.
Dr. Barry and his automations and his tech, he might want to talk about that maybe on the marketing day. We'll talk about the tech behind some of those keywords, because sometimes you guys will type community in there and you're sent the link to join our community. So yeah, we might talk about that.
Comment community and you get sent the link to our community. Yes, we're working.
We're working here. We're working to bridge that gap for the Black disability community, and we work hard to do so. But remember, April 17th through the 19th is the 6th annual, number 6, Autism in Black Conference, right? Happening here in West Palm Beach, Florida. Or you can attend virtually from anywhere you want to be. But we just want you in the room, virtually or in person, because
in the room.
Yes, the information that we are giving out is too important, and the community centeredness that is happening is needed. And we just want you all to be in that room. So April 17th through the 19th, join us. And until tomorrow, where we highlight these speakers and probably name some sessions.
Yes.
Tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, and we'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.